Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's several live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us, Alex Smarts. Ninos should be signing in momentarily. Millz will be right back in a little bit. Wayne Scott and Tony Brown from Las Vegas, Nevada. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Smart, Ninos, Brown, Young, Scott, and then I will close this one out. All right, baseball on the mind tonight. Lots of games in action today. And, of course, we've got two from the NBA, big card from the NHL, and the NIT finals as well. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Alex Smart. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. I think we're ready to roll here with Alex Smart, ready to go here from baseball coverage tonight. What's going on, Alex?
How you doing, Tony? We're going to go with we're going to look at the Angels-A's game, and I don't think the A's offense is going to be much better than it was last year. A lot of people have predicted some other things, but I just look at their lineup, and I just think pitching should be their strength, and offense definitely will not be their strength for a second straight season. But, we're going to start off and just let everybody know Ohtani had a great Ohtani. How do I pronounce his name?
Ohtani, like oh boy, Ohtani.
Okay, Ohtani, the slaughterer of names, the great Alex Smart. Anyway, anyway, to make a long story short, he had a great World Series. The guy was just amazing. When he came in, just watching him come in and pitch at the end of that game against Trout, it was just out of this world. Anyway, Japan deserved that game all the way. And I'm betting on that momentum to carry on here. And, he's really matured as a pitcher, matured as a Major League Baseball player, got a lot of confidence in him. I think he can go fairly deep today because of the experience he's already shown so far this year. He's pitched quite a bit. I know that the Angels don't like to, overdo it with him, but I still see him going at least 6 innings. On the other side, like I said, I just don't think Oakland's going to score much. We just got a game here that just looks very much like an under to me. A very low-scoring game to start the season off.
All right, we got Alex here. Under 7 here, Angels and Athletics. Yeah, again, this Athletics team is not going to be good. We know that. Their offense is going to be rough. There's always news about this team moving to Las Vegas, and, of course, the fans don't show up. Probably more Angel fans there opening day. You'll get some people go up there to catch these Angel fans. They love the team. There'll be a few out there. But anyway, yeah, as you said, Ohtani should dominate the Oakland A's. I think he's had a really good success in his career, if I remember, against Oakland. Going back over. I was so against Oakland. Look at Shohei Ohtani here in his past 3 starts, all last year against Oakland. Pitched 19 innings, gave up just 1 earned run and 7 hits.
Yeah, and going back to last year, the Angels have gone under 4 straight games versus left-handers, but they just go under, period, because of the lack of scoring. And, I guess decent pitching. It wasn't as good as it was in past years, and we'll see what happens this year. But I think their pitching should be their strength this season, and we'll see where it goes from there. It's going to be interesting. But, tonight, starting off this early in the season, playing in that nasty dead zone I call Oakland. Look for an under.
Under here, Angels Athletics under total of 7. This one to have a start time here, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Great results here in college basketball. Remember, we got the Final Four coming up this week, and the NIT championship game up there as well. NBA 2 on the board. Still a lot of primetime baseball. Big hockey card. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I've got that NIT final. The total. Last time that total was unbelievable. Started out so amazing. I had an over on that wager, and 13 points by Wisconsin in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. That was just unbelievable. Do you think that was more North Texas, or do you think that was just really a bad Wisconsin offense?
So we saw all season with Wisconsin, just bad offense. It wasn't surprising.
Yeah,
it was surprising, but, they can't shoot.
Yeah, no, they can't shoot, and they can't even shoot free throws, it seems. So, anyway, to make a long story short, we've got some college basketball on board tonight. We've got that NIT finals game. We're going to have some stuff, some college basketball selections for the weekend. Still waiting for some lines to move so I can grab something that's going to give us an advantage. Also, just interesting. I'm not saying I'm going to do this. I'll just throw this in there. You have to remember Connecticut, UConn, is 14-0 straight up this season against non-conference opposition, covering 13 or 14 of those games. Keep an eye out on that. I'm not saying I'm going to follow that trend. I'm just saying, is the trend going to end or is it going to continue this weekend? Got some NHL tonight and some NBA. And,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with expert over at Pick Dogs, a premium that college basketball NIT finals up there, totals up there for you. Also NHL action, of course, long-term passes. One tryout, Alex got a 7-day pass. All of Alex's premium plays for 7 days. Covers the remainder of college basketball NIT final. The final four here for you here on Saturday. The final on Monday. 7 days of baseball, 7 days NBA, 7 days NHL. We still have regular season left here. We go on NBA. It goes until a week from Sunday. That's the cutoff there. So lots happening there over at Pick Dogs. Alex, it's always great having you on the show. You know, I did an all-nighter to get caught up in baseball. I figured, let me just do an all-nighter, go from 10 o'clock, it was 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., just grinding baseball. And I like Minnesota. That's a team I'm going to keep an eye on.
You like Minnesota?
With that pitching staff.
Yeah, okay. So you're the second person. I know somebody that has some future tickets on Minnesota, so we'll see. That's
all they needed was pitching. We'll see how that rolls. But anyway, Alex says we'll see how that rolls. It's always great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, Tony. We'll talk about this wonderful Final Four that happens this coming weekend.
Hey, by the way, when Connecticut gets this far, they go all the way, right? I think it's another trend.
Yes, exactly. And that, I'm just wondering, when does it come to an end? Because I'm looking at Miami, and I really like Miami. But then I'm looking at UConn. Jeez, what am I going to do? So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see how it rolls. All right. Alex Smart here on the drive-through. All right, lots of conversation. We'll continue here as we continue on here on the drive-through. Look, Ninos is set up in his Ninos is set to roll here. It looks like he's got his setup ready to roll here. So let's go ahead and welcome in Ninos. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. I think we're ready to roll here with Ninos. Let's see if we can get him in right now. Actually, I do see Jay Briggs in the stadium. I think he's in the stadium. Yeah, he might be. We'll see. We'll get to him a little bit. He said he might try to come in. Bring him in right now. Ninos. What's happening?
Yeah, I thought about doing the shoot from the stadium, but these games getting shorter this season, so so that wouldn't have worked out anyway. But yeah, how are you doing, Tom?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. Ninos here joined us here. We're going baseball. This was a time change, in case you're wondering. This was supposed to be an afternoon game. They were expecting showers early afternoon, and they moved it to later in the evening to get the game in. It's been a very wet year here in Southern Cal and NorCal. But Padres here to host the Rockies. The Padres laying 210, the total 7.
Yeah, that's never a great thing, especially for the starters. When the game is postponed this far, they get prepared for the posted start time, and for them to be delayed, it just kind of messes up all their warm-ups and all that. I guess this one could have been anticipated a little bit. We knew there was going to be bad weather around this one. But yeah, and then about the Twins, yeah, that was the one play that would have probably been my pick on the show here tonight if that one got postponed by any chance. But yeah, I like the Twins a little bit today as well. One play that was almost a print, but I didn't quite make it. Back to this game though, the Padres just the better team here on the home field. They have the better starter, Blake Snell, not the ace he once used to be, but he did show some signs of his old stuff at some point last season, and certainly did better than German Marquez, who's pitches at Coors Field. A lot of his home starts come at Coors Field, so that could mess his numbers up a bit. But I still think Snell's the better starter here, and the Padres have a better lineup, so I'm gonna roll with them to get off to a good start in their season opener and win this one big. Now, of course, you want to be careful laying these run lines with the home teams, and money line might be right around the price where it's not too steep, where I could take a stab on the money line as well, just in case we don't get that bottom of the ninth inning and they're only up 1 then. But it's a game I think they should win more comfortably before that, and taking the Padres.
All right, Nino says go Padres run line here. Lay the minus 1.5 runs, plus 100 here against the Rockies. I mean, you look at this San Diego Padre lineup, it's such an improvement. Juan Soto, Machado, Bogarts, Cronenworth, Kemp, Carpenter down to the DH. They're catching Nola, and you look at the Rockies lineup, and you can see it. They're going to have issues there. Blackman's their guy pretty much, and I really don't trust anybody else there other than the Blackman.
Yeah, it's not the best team in the league, obviously, but they have a lineup that could get hot sometimes. But I still think the Padres have the better and more consistent lineup. They've already improved over the last couple of seasons, and as you mentioned, just getting better. So a little bit scary as a Dodger fan, but still like my team, and it should be a fun season.
All right, Ninos says go here on the Padres run line, lay the run and a half, plus 100 here against the Rockies. This one will have a start time here of 9:40 Eastern time. Note the time change. Moved to a night game because rain was forecasted earlier this afternoon. All right, Ninos, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, still 5 games in primetime Major League Baseball. We have hockey, a big hockey board, 2 NBA, the NIT Finals. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, already got 2 off to a good start in the MLB with 2 winners. So we got 1 game, we're in the lead right now, and hoping that one ends well. We still got a 3-pack in the MLB though, 3-pack in the NHL, and play in the NBA as well as college basketball. So a lot of action today. Great day to hop on a long-term or 2-for-1 capper special. Go grab the package you're looking for.
That's right, guys. You got board with Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, tonight on the board, as he said, he's got the NBA $19 premium up there up for grabs as well. Hat trick from the sports here from NHL. Lots of action, lots of individual plays, but instead of buying them all, long-term pass, like Al said, 7-day pass covers you for the remainder of March Madness, NIT Final, 7 days of baseball, 7 days hockey. NBA, remember the last day of the NBA regular season is a week from Sunday, so that's all covered there with that 7-day pass. Pick as a promo code to save 15% off. All right, Ninos, as always, great having the show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, Tony, have a good one.
Got an Ninos here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss a pick, we will have a recap at the end of the show. I see Jay Briggs right now at the stadium, so I don't know if he's got maybe he just checked in to see what's happening. You can always send me an email to see what's going on there with Jay, because Jay is enjoying his time over at the ballpark. Let's see, what he got there? I think he was just checking in to see what was going on, because he's at that Ranger game, which has turned into a crazy game right now. It's not so. We'll maybe hopefully can get in touch with him a little bit later. Let's go to Las Vegas, Nevada right now. Let's welcome in our man Tony Brown. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Tony right now. It's ready for Major League Baseball. Tony Brown, what's happening?
Tony T, what's going on?
Everything's going great. All right, here we go tonight, 7 Eastern time. This one's ESPN because the defending world champions are playing. Astros, the host of the White Sox. Astros favorite here, minus 145, total 7.5.
Yeah, this game is going to be good. You know what I mean? You got the Astros, the defending champs, coming back to it. You got an improved White Sox team, so these two are going to go at it. Instead of the game, though, I'm going to give you guys the total. I think we got a little good action on the total right here. It sits at 6.5, and we're going to go ahead and set the tone this season. You already know what we're going to do. We're going to buy it up to 7, and I think we get under that somehow. Both of these teams have good offense, but both of these pitchers are absolutely aces on the mound. Both 14-game-plus winners, and I think Framber Valdez had 17-something wins for the Astros. And Cease had about 14 or 15 for the White Sox last year, and he was top 5 in strikeouts. Like, when you're talking about mowing people down, Cease was the top 5 in strikeouts last year. He can really go through a lineup. And same with Framber Valdez. He wasn't top 5 in strikeouts, but he had 17 wins. He was one of the AL win leaders. And both of them have sub-2 ERAs. So I think they go deep into the game, and this one decides who has the better bullpen, and that's who's going to win this one. And, well, I personally think it's the Astros, but it's not going to be a high-scoring game at all. Altuve's out for the Astros as well. He's a guy with a little bit of pop, so he can get you a home run, and he definitely can pull you in some RBI, so I think they'll miss that in the beginning. And just the opening day, you know what I mean? The pitching's a little bit ahead of the bat, and then I think 7 runs to beat us will be a chore, so I'm going to take the under in this one.
All right, Tony Brown here, under 7.5 here with the Astros and the White Sox. And, Tony, we could pretty much call the Astros king of the unders last season, right? With that pretty good starting pitching and really great bullpen work that they got last year. They won a lot of those one-run games at home, those 3-2s, those 4-3 games, and you're sitting there on a 7.5. And of course, it seems to somehow always come in with these Astros because once they get the lead, they're not always the strongest hitting team as far as run production. We saw this at home because they cashed so many unders last season. Interesting to note here, doing my research, I said I did a cram session today on baseball. Right? Just did over an all-nighter just to get there's so much going on here, trying to work the production on the show, getting more features here, getting live chat, want to get some live odds, live scores, all this stuff I'm working on. I said I'm just going to do a cram session on baseball from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. and get about 4 hours sleep, which I did. And one thing I read about it with this Astros team, and like the Dodgers, they shifted more. The Dodgers and Astros shifted more than any team in baseball last year.
And I'm so glad you brought that up. I hated that. Just as a fan of the game, that's stupid. Like, why would you put 5 people on first base or right field or et cetera, or whatever you guys were doing? Like, I'm so glad they took that rule out. But then it's like we made a good step as a Major League Baseball team, took a good thing off, and then they added pizza box style bases and a shot clock. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with all that, but I'm glad they took it off. But as far as the Astros being one of the more shifty teams with the Dodgers, that's probably why they hit so many unders. But I think it's more of inflated totals. You know what I mean? They had Jordan Alvarez and all these big-time batters in there. So they used to get a lot of inflated totals with outstanding pitching. And I think it's going to be the same in this game today.
Yeah, Framber Valdez, a very high ground ball pitcher. 66.5% of his hitters hit ground balls. So we'll see where they go. Do they go through the hole? Again, it all depends on the stuff, right? If you got good stuff, they're not going to be hard hit. Infielders will get to them. Right,
and the Astros have excellent defense. You know what I mean? So they'll get to those balls, and then I think we're looking at like a 4-2 game, Houston's favor.
All right, there we go. Astros, White Sox under 7.5. This one will have a start time here, 7 Eastern time. World champions, again, they're going to put them on ESPN. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Some positive results, NHL. Big NHL card here for tonight. Well, about 5 games in prime time as they move the Padres Rockies to the prime time hour. Of course, the Tony Brown's Dodgers will be in action tonight tonight in the late night window. Some pretty good stuff in Cleveland and Seattle have a pretty good game tonight in the late night as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I gave all the respect to the MLB opening day. Like you and myself, I had a cram session last night in baseball, and I found the 4 best plays out of 15 games. I think I found the 4 best plays on the board. Unfortunately, 3 of them have already went off already. Fortunately, they all cashed. We have the Cubs as a home dog, and we have the Yankees, and we have the who was the team that played this morning? The Yankees and the Braves, both on the run line, and those both cashed. So we're 3-0 to start the MLB season, and I have one more great play left. It's my MLB play of the day. It's the one that I saved for last, and you can grab that for only $25 and help me get this sweep tonight.
That's right. Get on board with Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs. Get on board with this sweet play here. MLB opening day power play. Get on board there. Of course, the long-term pass will serve you well. You want to try Tony Brown out for 7 days? Go for it. 7 days of plays here. Covers we made of March Madness, and as well as baseball for 7 days, NBA, NHL for 7 days. Remember, we're in the NBA regular season ends a week from Sunday, so we got full regular season play here, NHL and NBA. Pick is a promo code. You'll save 15% off. All right, Tony Brown, as always, great having the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
I always like to be here, and thanks for having me. I'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. We got Tony Brown here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on here with our coverage, guys. If you missed a pick, we'll recap at the end of the show. Seeing lots of people tune in right now. Let's continue on right now on the show. Let's see who we can welcome in next. Millz Young. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. He was doing some MMA coverage. I was following him on his Twitter account. I think he was doing some work out there on the field. We'll bring him in right now. Millz, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? How's everybody doing out there? How the dogs doing? Oh,
there you go. Big Dog's doing. We know what he's ready. 1-0 already out of the box of the home run. And I'm thinking that these new shift rules are helping out the Yankees. Stanton got a base hit. It would not have been a base hit if they would have the shift on him. I'm already starting to see some of this go on early on with these power hitting teams taking advantage of these new rules. Bucks here to host the Celtics. Bucks came down to 2, total 238. You're going to be looking at this one a different way.
Yeah, man, this game right here, it's going to come down to one of those games where, the stars are going to have to show up and shine, because both these teams, I think they're competing for number 1 in the East. So, I'm going to be looking at it from a player prop perspective. One of the guys out there I'm going to be talking about, he's averaging 30 points right now, shooting like 46% from the field. He's one half of the duo. The duo that's probably not going to be there next year. I'm talking about Jason Tatum. Over 28.5 points right now. He hit that player prop 4-1 out of his last 5 games. Only time he didn't hit it, he had 15 points. One thing that I looked at, I digged a little deeper. These teams played each other twice on the season. Both was high-scoring games. The one game Jason Tatum did play in, he had over like 40 points. I think it was 41 to quote me to be exact. He didn't play in the second game they played. So I think it's going to come down to the stars. And when the stars need to show up and shine, they usually do. So go ahead and take Jason Tatum over 28.5. That's my player prop to get you some cash.
Okay, some cash with Millz Young here with Jason Tatum over 28.5 points. Of course, big game tonight here against Milwaukee. Milwaukee on the back-to-back. Boston with the rest advantage. How do you see that? Of course, Milwaukee's been pretty good here in these back-to-back games. But this is a player prop situation. And how do you see them defending Tatum tonight?
It's going to be one of those things, like you said, it's a player prop situation out here. It's a one-on-one ISO game. That's what makes it better for this player prop to hit. Boston doesn't run a team offense to where anybody can have a good game and players off the bench can come in and just make a name. It ain't based on that. The only way the Celtics win is with Jason Tatum scoring in those high 25s a game. If Brogdon's your main scorer in the game with 18, and if Jaylen Brown's your second main scorer, or your main scorer in the game, those aren't the games that the Celtics win. They usually do it when Jason Tatum scores, and so I don't really think the defense is going to be that much of an effect, to go over 28.5. It's just one of those things where his average is already 2 points over that this season. So let's go ahead and take it. Let's go ahead and see, man. We're going to get this player prop.
All right, Millz here. Jason Tatum over 28.5 points. This one have a start time, 7:30 Eastern time, game 1 of the TNT doubleheader. All right, Millz, let's take over at Pick Dog. Tonight's action, good results in NBA tonight. 2 on the board, NBA and NIT final. We got to about 5 prime time in baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Man, getting my feet wet today. Got one play left in the NBA to get you paid. Got one play in the MLB as well. That MLB play is going to be kicking off, I want to say, in about 20 minutes. So go ahead and get those 2 plays to get you paid. I have one game up there right now that's still live going on the board. So got 2 plays to get you paid. No UFC this week. We do have Bellator coming around actually tomorrow. I haven't really sunk my teeth in a solid plays in there yet. I will be covering that event, but nothing solid that I like. We also got PFL this Saturday as well. I might have some bets up for that card, so stay tuned for that. By Saturday, we'll have some bets for you guys to bet some MMA. But besides that, man, just watch the fights tomorrow. Bellator, they're going to be going on, and then Saturday, they're going to have PFL as well.
Yeah, I see some of your Twitter followers putting down you were the good job on the coverage, media coverage of Bellator over at Pachanga there tomorrow, right?
Yeah, man, that's where it's going to be, right there at Pachanga, man. We're going to be live covering those events at the casino. Come on in and check us out, man. Yeah, I was doing a media forum a little bit earlier on yesterday and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, it's one of those things too, man. We're going to be live at the casino, so you can't ask for anything more.
No, absolutely not. Great. So, guys, get on board with Millz Young over at Pick Dogs. Great results, NBA. Of course, here we are on a Thursday. What do we tell you guys? Get that 3-day pass from Millz. Of course, in all his NBA, as well as March Madness, right? We'll get to the Final Four on Saturday. Those 2 big games on Saturday. Don't forget, baseball's in the news here. And, of course, the 3-day pass is the way to roll. And, of course, if we have action in Bellator, that will also be part of that 3-day pass. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save 15% off. Add a second copper with that 2-point cap promotion. Even greater value there, right? Millz, as always, great having you on the show. To you, that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Yes, sir. Catch you guys in the chat, man. Hopefully everybody win their bets, and let's keep doing it like we do it on the Pick Dogs. Oh.
You got it. Millz Young here on the drive-thru. Right, guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap here at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Wayne Scott is up next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll see if we can bring in Wayne right now. I think he's ready to roll. Wayne, what's happening? We lost your sound again, Wayne. You might have kicked your computer disk. You'd have to sign back in again. Whatever you did last time, it happened again. I think he kicked. Well, let's get to my play as we wait for the next one in line. I saw Jay there, but I guess he wasn't able to connect to us. But he is in the crowd right now in that Phillies-Texas game. 11-6 Texas, massive comeback here over the Phillies. Phillies got off that 5-0 lead in that one. Wild one as well between Toronto and St. Louis. Last check, it was 5-5. I think we're still there in that one between Toronto and St. Louis. Yeah, 5-5, bottom of the 6th, no outs there. All right, let's continue on here. Let's get to this. As Wayne tries to reconnect, we'll get to my pick here we're going to go to baseball. I think a pretty good matchup here tonight between the Mariners and the Guardians, as this is one of the nicer games of the night here involving two postseason teams. Let's see if we can bring up my game odds here. We're going to look here. Mariners, Guardians. Mariners 116, a total of 6.5. Low total on this game. We're going to look at here at the Mariners here later, minus 116 in this one. In this one, we're going to have Bieber, the starter for Cleveland. Bieber, solid performance last season. Ground ball was 48%. His strikeouts dipped to 25% last year, so he pitched a little bit more contact. Luis Castillo has been a stud ever since coming to Seattle. He's been pitched. He does well in these closely tight line games in his career. Posted an ERA under 3 last year. Pretty good WHIP. Increase in the strikeout rate to 27%. And Cleveland, really not a really power hitting team, and I think they're going to have issues with that. Mariners bullpen just really outstanding last year. Also, Bieber's strikeout rate is a concern. So we'll go ahead and take Seattle Mariners in this one here. LA at minus 116 here against the Guardians. Let me make sure that line is correct. Is it minus 116 or minus 126? Let me double check that line here for you guys. And we'll see what we're looking at in this one. Yeah, we're at minus 116 coming down. There were some higher openers out there, although I do see an open of minus 110 on both sides. So we'll be still on that game tonight with that Mariners and the Mariners here and the Guardians minus 116. Guys, check out Pick Dog Stream right now. I've got a couple plays up there on the board right now for you, as well as our plays went off. But again, I got the NIT and an NBA game up there for you. So get on board. My long-term pass, 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my pre and plays for that time period you select. You go to my handicap page and make that purchase. And of course, remember, the pick is the promo. You'll save 15% off at checkout. Of course, my long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my pre and plays in that period of time. You go to my capper page and make that purchase. Let's continue on here on the drive-through. Let's bring in Wayne Scott again. We see if he's connected. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? You can hear me now?
I can hear you now, Wayne. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one underway here. We're getting to your player prop here in just a moment, but we'll get to your graphic here so we can set up the play here for tonight's action as we go to the NBA here with Wayne. And, of course, we'll have the game between the Nuggets and the Pelicans here. Nuggets were laying 5.5, total 226, but you'll be looking at this one a little differently.
Yes, sir. We have this Nuggets team close to the play-ins. They're actually in the play-ins right now, so they got a lot to play for. We got the Nuggets in first place in this one. And I want to go to Trey Murphy's player prop over 15.5. In his last 10 games, he's averaging 20.8, which is a lot more than his 13.9 over the season. And he's averaging 35 minutes a game in his last 10, and he's playing great defense. He's 48th in steals, so he can get it done on the defensive end, getting steals and getting it done from the 3-point. He in his last 5 games is 100% from the free throw line, so he's getting it done, and the free throw as well. And he's hitting this 5 for 5 in his last 10. I look for them to double team Ingram and McCollum, and look for him to get more points that way. This Nuggets team, they turn the ball over a lot, 22nd in turnover, so that should lead to some possible easy points for him. And it's just a time of the year where it's, he should be way more motivated at this time to get over this 15 points, being their third scorer in their team right now. And I just like for him to get over this 15.5 in this one.
All right, we got Wayne here. Take Trey Murphy over 15.5 points in this one. Of course, Trey Murphy, what a difference here a year makes, right? He kind of struggled from the field as a rookie, just under 39% shooting. This year, 48% shooting. He's making 91% of free throws. Turnovers a little higher, but get a little more playing time, but better on the defensive glass. Taking double the 3-point attempts, so he's been hitting 41% from 3 this year.
Yes, sir. And like you said, 44% from field goal. But I'm just going as of late, his last 5, he's hitting 52% from 3-point and 58% field goal, which is extremely high. And I don't look for him to hit that high, but I don't look for him to fall off immediately anyway. This is a high impact game, And he'll be going against Kyle Pope. Like I said, I think they'll be double teaming the front two stars a little bit more. But Kyle Pope has allowed the last 3 out of 4 shooting guards to score over 20 points that's played at least 30 minutes. So just look for Trent Murphy to continue his high scoring output he's been doing lately, and go ahead and cash out on this prop bet of 15.5.
All right, we got Wayne here, Trey Murphy, over 15.5 points. This one will have a start time. It's your late game tonight over on TNT. All right, Wayne, let's take over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Showing good profit in the NBA tonight. 2 on the board NBA. We have still 5 games remaining in prime time for Major League Baseball. NIT Championship game as well as a big day on the ice. What do you have going on over at Pick.com Premium?
Yeah, we got one more pick in NIT, and I actually got 3 hockey plays tonight and 3-pack free out. So go pick that up. My takeoff Thursday. Loving 3 totals in NHL tonight. And looking forward to tomorrow's card. 13 NBA games, 5 MLB games, 4 NHL games. So studying up, getting ready for tomorrow, and getting ready for a nice weekend for the college basketball as well.
That's right, guys. Get board with Wayne Scott over at Pick.com. Nice 3-pack up there here from the NHL. He does have an NIT up there as well, but the long-term passes will serve you well. 7-day pass, great. Covers the remainder of college basketball. NIT Championship. We got the Final 4 on Saturday, final game on Monday. All your NBA, all your MLB, all your NHL for 7 days. Pick is a promo code. You'll save 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you on the show. Do that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But I know you also contribute here on Pick Dogs in the mornings on the weekends.
Yep, I'll be here on the weekend show with Mitch or Chris, whoever's the host, and you'll catch me on there with Jay with his midday NBA jam session a couple times throughout the week. So stay tuned in, subscribe, and like, and check us out. We'll be here.
That's right, guys. Check it out there. You'll find Wayne a couple times a week on the 4 o'clock show for Eastern time with Jay with that NBA rundown. All right, Wayne, have yourself a great weekend. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, take care, Tony T. Take care, Pick It Off family. Y'all, let's cash out today.
Cash out today, indeed. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on your show. You guys got my pick already here on the Mariners side. In this one, with Luis Castillo on the mound, so we'll continue on here on the show as we will get to my pick here. Let me see what's happening in the chat, guys. Appreciate everyone's chat contributions. We've seen some Marquisa Latifa up there. We see Samuel Gomez, Ramon Scott. We also have Matt D in there as well. Jared Gable, Rocco Rogers. Shout out from Millz as well. They're in the chat. Let's continue on here on the drive. So you guys did get my play. We'll do the recap here in a minute. And let's see what we got happening here in the chat room before we get to there. Let's see what we got there. We got Boyer in there. Shout out to you, Boyer. Shout out to Land H as well. As far as the Millz shout out, indeed. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru, guys. We're ready to roll here with some more picks here on the recap. So let's get to the recap right now. All right, we had Alex Mart with us today. We had Alex with the Angels Athletics under 7. Ninos like the Padres run line, lay the run and a half, plus 100 against the Rockies. We had Tony Brown, Astros, White Sox going under 7.5. Millz was on Jason Tatum over 28.5 points. Wayne was on Trey Murphy here. Trey Murphy was his pick in this one, over 15.5 points, minus 105. I will be on the Mariners, minus 116 here against the Guardians. All right, that looks like we're going to do it here for the drive-thru. I'd like to thanks again everybody for joining us here today. Remember, it always gets started every single day here at 10 a.m. each time with the morning show. You have Mitch, you got Chris, and you got Rod Zawacki up there in the mornings, as well as Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, as well as the Puck Dog series. Of course, we got Chris and we got Rod Zawacki on there with the Puck Dog series. Ron Romanelli's college basketball breakdown. Look for that in the Final 4. Also, we've got Ron Romanelli's MLB breakdown. That's up there. Baseball. Jay's jam session with his NBA video drop at early in mornings every day. And then, of course, live here at 4 p.m. Eastern with his NBA live jam session. And don't forget Javon's parlay video, as well as David Racy, as he has his short series here. So that is also cool. So check all that out. Before we leave you guys, let me just see what's happened up on the chat. Some folks want to know what do you like. Oh, any over-unders in tonight's NBA game. I have one of them as a premium, and kind of leaning on the Pelicans way, but the line moved down to 5.5. Let's take a look, by the way, at the injuries. Catch you guys updated here on who's out, who's in. We do have just 2 games tonight, one beginning about an hour from now, less than an hour away, We can now confirm Pritchard out for Boston. Pritchard, of course, Gallinari's been out all season. Matter of fact, when he was with Denver and he was with the Clippers, he lived on the injury report. Doesn't surprise me that he's taken another residence here with Boston. Milwaukee, still Crowder, Leonard, and Middleton questionable for Milwaukee. Pelicans and Nuggets. This is the big one here to keep an eye on. We know Alvarado, Liddell, and Williamson out for New Orleans. But on the Denver side, we got White, Gillespie out, Watson questionable, Concar questionable, and Jokic is the question mark tonight. And see, that's the thing with Jokic, right? This is the front end of a back-to-back. Tomorrow, the Nuggets are in Denver. He does have a bit of an issue with his calf. And I thought, reading the tea leaves, my guess is they would rest him today and play him tomorrow, right? If you got some sort of ailment, you want to play him in one of the two games. I think you would probably go in that direction and resting him tonight and then playing him tomorrow. But that's not official. That's just me reading the tea leaves. And we're still question mark. It is the late game tonight, 10 Eastern time, so you'll know a little bit more about 9:30 Eastern time, maybe sooner. It is a TV game. Of course, if you're catching the TNT broadcast, maybe they'll update you on his status. But again, Jokic is the question mark for tonight. That's why we've seen the line here move. Well, it's been moving around from 5.5 to 6, now up to 6.5 in some places. So that line has moved. And let's see. As of 3:30 Pacific, it is still, this is just an update here, still questionable. So no update yet on his status there. And of course, let's see if there's any late breaking here. Robert Williams is probable for Boston now. So he's expected to play. So we got Grant Williams as well as Robert Williams, both expected to play. So that's been some updated news here because there were some rumblings here about Williams unable to play, but he's going to play tonight. He's been updated. All right, Paul Milford asking the chat room about their UAB play tonight, so he likes them as well. And some people are liking that SoCal parlay, Padres, Angels parlay. I saw someone post Padres, Dodgers, and Angels with the three-way parlay. So that's what the folks in the chat room had to think today. Again, I'd like to thank everyone's contributions today. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew in here from tonight's show.